Greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered, dispersed, but not destroyed. My name is Yemi'el ben Yahuda, and I'd like to welcome y'all all to the truth, a part of the Awakening Remnant Coalition Dallas. I am one of the elders and teachers here at the truth. We want to welcome each and every one of you on this glorious Shabbat day, giving all praise to the Most High Yah, to the Ruach HaKodesh, and to our kinsman Redeemer, Yeshua HaMashiach. We just give all praises to Yah. We thank you all for joining us. It has been a tremendous and remarkable week. I want to thank everybody that has taken their time out to make our classes and these lessons that we've been teaching a part of each and every one of your Shabbats. We are grateful. You just don't know just how lucky and just how glad we are that you are a part of our family. This Shabbat, we will be going into Ecclesiasticus chapter 3. We have been teaching in the Apocrypha books for the last few months, trying to get everybody a grip on the teachings that have been missed out upon because we do not pay attention to the Apocrypha books. So I'm just I hope to be here next Shabbat and allow Brother Rod to continue his teachings, or Brother Yosef to continue his teachings. But right now, um, be looking forward to hearing from us. I'm going to need all the word I can get, so I don't plan on letting a little bit of pain prevent us from having class on next Shabbat. We are getting ready for Sukkot, y'all. I am so excited. Y'all just don't know. Sukkot last year was amazing, so we're hoping and praying that this Sukkot will be one of the same. We had so much fun. We had so much fun out there, and all the people that came. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking your time out that year. I'm hoping this year will be better. We're trying to get not only set up our tents, but have a camper for those who need other types of facilities. I have finally made it in my game room. Y'all, I've been sneezing and coughing all morning. I'm trying to get myself together. I know I'm a little bit late. I'm running behind. I ask for y'all's forgiveness. I am having some technical difficulties today, y'all, with StreamYard. I don't get it. I've been having some issues, but we give y'all praise in all of this, for we know that it is by his hand and through him that all things are possible. So we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus. I'm waiting on Brother Joseph to come in. I know he probably sleep. Brother Stefan, if you're here, give him a call. I know he has hard weeks, so we don't complain. One day, I can't wait for us to get into the Wisdom of Solomon. It's a real complex book. I would tell each and every one of y'all, if you plan on getting into the Wisdom of Solomon with us, bring some Midol or some headache medicine of some sort, because you're going to have some headaches. The Book of Solomon, the Wisdom of Solomon is something else. Let's see. Going to go to chapter 3. Okay, I'm waiting on Brother Joseph. But to all of you gathered today, I ask that you keep me and my family in your prayers as we go through whatever this is that y'all's got us going through. I was trying to postpone the surgery off for a few more weeks, but my doctor told me nope. So when the doctor tells you no, then it's time to go ahead and move. I was trying to wait for some what do we call it? Administrative things to go in my favor, but the doctor's like, no, we ain't doing that. That is not what we're gonna do this week, sir. You are gonna come in and get this thing taken out of your chest, and you ain't gonna complain. And I'm not gonna listen to you complain. You just gonna be here, and you gonna get this knife on you. So I said, okay, sir, since that is what you are requiring of me, and you require a lot of stuff from y'all. I got this weird feeling, man. When I talk to people about how the spirit moves, we've got this bad habit as followers of the Most High that we ask him to do things for us and we expect for it to happen miraculously. It's kind of like the story of the man that was in New Orleans during the flood, and he climbed up on his house and he was like, y'all, please save me from this flood.
Mm-hmm.
And so a guy in a paddle boat came up and he was like, nah, hey man, come on, let's get out of here. And he was like, nah, I'm waiting on y'all. Then a guy on one of them Coast Guard little cutter boats came up there and he was like, man, come on and get on here. He's like, nah, bro, I'm waiting on y'all. And the water's still rising. And all of a sudden, a helicopter come through, and he's like, hey, man, get on. We got you taken care of. He's like, no, man, I'm waiting on y'all. And eventually, they joker drowned. And when he got to heaven, got to see y'all face to face, he was like, hey, I prayed to you, and you didn't even send me no help. And he said, man, I sent you a canoe. I sent you a Coast Guard boat. Then I sent you a helicopter. What was you waiting on? So when this doctor told me that, hey, no, we ain't gonna wait. And look, man, I was hot as fish grease. Hey, Joseph, I was hot as fish grease because you know I'm supposed to be in DC the following week.
Yeah.
And I was hot as fish grease. I was like, man, I can't do it. Then I started thinking. I said, man, let's go ahead and get this done. So, how's everything been with you?
All is well. All is well. Glad to be here for this Shabbat.
Man, I'm telling you, boy, I've had so many issues this morning. I'm gonna let you have it today. Um, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna comment, but I ain't gonna comment that much. Um, but I will tell you this: I have had a lot of tremendous interactions this week, and I'm thankful for y'all for His blessings.
Mhm.
Please keep our families in your prayers. My wife is actually out of town. She's in Giddings. Her one of her childhood friends' mom passed away this week. I mean last week, and they're having her funeral today. So I told her, I said, hey, don't worry about me. Shoot, I'm straight. She's like, you want to come? I'm like, nope. Nah, that would be a hard no. But you go ahead and go and have fun. No, I'm not doing the funeral thing. So I was telling you this week that I was getting all my stuff together, all my dive equipment and stuff together, because I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna start back after I get out of surgery. It is my I'm gonna start back diving on a more active basis. So it's something that I love to do, and it's a quick way for me to find some relief. So fresh water, salt water, it don't matter what
Hmm.
water, as long as it ain't
Yeah,
murky and dark, we going in. So
sounds good.
so you can go ahead and get started with the lesson. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the screen, and I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom, Yemi. It's good to be here again with the ARC DFW. This is Yosef Ben Yisrael with the ARC DFW, and we're excited and delighted to be here again on the Holy Shabbat. I don't care what them Christians say. The Most High made the Shabbat for us, and I had not a debate, but a discussion with a with with someone about, we were talking about Shabbat, and got into a discussion about a so-called biblical discussion about Shabbat and whether it's still relevant or whether it's all of this and all of that. And I just from my experience and what the Father has revealed to us, there's nothing like the Shabbat. If He made it for us, it's the best thing for us. There's nothing better. There's no other alternative than to do what He did and to do what He said, to remember the Shabbat and to keep it holy. And so we're glad about that, regardless of what goes on around us or what the prevailing sentiment is. Um, we were thankful for this seventh day that He gave us. And so we're here today again. We're grateful to be able to help assist. Make no doubt about it. We're here at this particular point in time to assist Yemi as he navigates through these various challenges that we fully expect the Most High to deliver him through. And we're looking forward to getting him back on a regular basis, uh, doing what he does best. But we're here, of course, to support and assist him until he's ready to go. And through with the grace and the mercy of the Most High, it's always our prayer, first of all, that Yah be glorified through His Word, and that the Word be delivered as truthfully and transparently and as accurately, and I say all of those, that especially accurately as possible. We are very careful of how we handle this word. This is the living word. This is the life-giving word of Yah, and His word is spirit. His word is life, and we thank Him for His word. It's by His word by the power of his word, that all things, Hebrews, our gospel, the gospel to the Hebrews says that all things are upheld by the power of his word. I better quit before I start preaching. All things are upheld by the power of his word. When he uttered, let there be, it became, and it remains to this very day, and it shall remain until he speaks it, and until he says different. And so we're just grateful for the opportunity, grateful, and we're humble that he has seen fit to allow us to even handle his word, understanding our limitations, understanding our liabilities. We're grateful and we're thankful. We're going to go ahead and get right into this. Oh, let me say this while Yemi was talking about. It seems like a random conversation, but there are no random conversations. When we're with one another, when we're fellowshipping with one another, there are no random. It seems random, seems off the cuff, but the Father uses our fellowship, our connection, and our conversations to help one another, to edify, to build up one another. And I want to say this about Yemi talking about scuba diving, and I know some of us, some of us can get so holy, we don't want to talk about nothing but, but anyway, with the scuba diving, number one, Yemi is retired, and I know we're not supposed to be jealous and envious and covetous and all this kind of stuff, but Yemi's retired, and Yemi needs to get active. He needs to get active. He's excited about the scuba diving. He wants to do more of that. He's excited about it, and that's going to allow him to get out and get in nature. And I want to encourage all of us. Listen, the Father created us. We were outside. Wasn't no three
Tell
bedroom too.
them.
Wasn't no 3-bedroom too bad. I don't remember reading that in Bereshit. Didn't even have a tent or a tabernacle. Wasn't it? They just outside. And I want to encourage us. This is my encouragement. I've said this before to Yemi. Listen, this is my encouragement. Every day when I get off work, I'm running to the park. I've got a park here with a lake. It has not a lake, but a little creek or whatever, and they got a fountain set up in it. And I've got a little spot where I can go and take my shoes off and put my bare feet in the ground and sit there and think and meditate and just be around nature. I've got 2 little friends come eating up all my pistachios. 2 little ducks, they come, they just bogart my pistachios, and just being out in nature. Outside, we are melanated people. We were created to absorb the rays of the sun. We were created to breathe fresh air. We were created to release. There's a release and there's an exchange when we take our shoes off, put our bare feet on the ground. We didn't have socks and shoes. Adam and Eve, our forefathers and foremothers, they didn't have socks and shoes. They were on the ground barefoot, and we're not going to get too far into that. But I want to encourage all of us, make it a point to get outside in nature as much as you possibly can. And you will be surprised how much better you feel, how much you learn just from watching creation, just sitting there and just looking, just watching creation, and meditating on what the Father put here: green grass and trees and shrubs and flowers and water, bodies of water, and he put all that here for us. And we would do well. We would be a whole lot more healthier if we could get outside. And some of you who are maybe you're restricted in your movements, or you're ill, or you have chronic illnesses, just getting out in the sun, sitting in the sun, will heal your body, will facilitate healing of your body, will facilitate the healing of your mind. Getting outside, and it's hard to be depressed. Y'all better listen. It's hard to be depressed. You outside sitting in the sunlight. among nature, in nature, enjoying what the Father made for us. But that's just a quick PSA for getting outside and getting in nature, that which the Father has created for our benefit. He didn't create it for himself. He didn't need it. He created it for us. And so we want to take advantage of that. But at any rate, we're going to um, look at Sirach chapter 3, and we're going to read that entire chapter. I'm going to go ahead and read the entire chapter. Hope and pray that you all have been, that we are together, been reading Sirach on our own time, meditating on it, allowing it to speak to us. But we're going to share together today on the Holy Shabbat as we come together to fellowship, to share, and to rejoice in him and his word. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, reads as follows. Hear me, your father. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe. For Yah hath given the father honor over the children, and hath confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children when he maketh his prayer. And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life. And he that is obedient unto Yah shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth Yah will honor his father, and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up. In the day of affliction it shall be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away, as the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of Elohim, of God, of Yah. My son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before Yah. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of Yah is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. Without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil in the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness hath taken root in him. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh an atonement for sins. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay. Hallelujah. This afternoon, we're going to talk about a safe place or safety. Talk about a safe place or safety. And remember, the book of Sirach was built upon the 7 pillars of wisdom. When the Father, as creation, when he spoke creation into being, wisdom was there along with him. And everything he spoke into existence, everything that came into existence by the power of his word, was built on the 7 pillars of wisdom. And being that this book, Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, is a book of wisdom, we understand that it's talking about temporal, so-called temporal matters, or matters that are relevant in time, but these matters bear witness to eternity. These principles and precepts that we're reading here in Sirach, they are based upon eternal principles of wisdom. And so, as this wisdom is eternal in nature, it's applicable to everyday life. Not only is it applicable to everyday life, but everyday life is established upon these eternal principles of wisdom. And so we're learning how to operate out here in these streets. Out here in these streets, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the grandson of his namesake, has compiled this book built upon the eternal principles of wisdom to teach us how to operate out here in the world, or as they say in the modern vernacular, out here in these streets. And so we see here in chapter 3, he talks about this. Remember, now, sketch this now. An eternal principle of wisdom is that of the relationship or the covenant between the household, the father, the mother, and the children. Hear me, your father, verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. The father, our father, Yah, established the home, established the family to be a safe place. Home is supposed to be a place of safety. Home is to be a place where Yah is glorified, where his love, grace, and mercy is exemplified in the relationship and the covenant between the members of the family. And so he starts out by saying, as a father to a son, hear this, my children, and do this that you may be safe. Talking about safety. And there is a lack, or we live in a desert where there is no safety. We live in a very dangerous world. Much of that danger has emanated from the simple fact that the father is ignorant of the principles of wisdom. The mother is ignorant of the principles of wisdom, and the children are disobedient. All hell breaks loose as a result of the dysfunction in the family unit. I'm going to say that one more time. All hell in the earth has been unleashed as a result of dysfunction or ignorance of the word of Yah. So the Father said to the Son, listen to me, do what I say, and you will be safe. For why? Because Yah has given the Father honor over the children. See, there's a pecking order, there's a protocol, there's a procedure, there's a priority, and in all of that, there's also protection because Yah Himself has given the Father, has instilled within the Father. This is a Father that fears Yah, has given him a place of honor amongst his children. That's an eternal principle. All of the fathers that are listening to me and all of the fathers that are going to listen to this lesson, please be aware of the fact that you have been ordained of Yah and you have been positioned in the place of honor in your home amongst your family. You need to know that. Don't let Bart Simpson be the example of your how you parent, and all of these other negative stereotypes in television and movies of absentee fathers and ignorant fathers and ungodly fathers, because in the home, Yah has placed the father in a place of honor. And he has confirmed the authority. The Father has ordained and confirmed that the Father has he has authority over his children, and yes, over his wife, over his family. He is in the seat of authority. That's the way the Father set it up. And we're not going to apologize for that. We can't apologize for what Yah has done, and that's the way Yah has constructed it. It's constructed the family, and this is in the earth realm. He has constructed the family and the home where the Father has a place of honor, and He has confirmed the authority of the Father and the Mother over the Son. So the Father and the Mother, y'all remember how Adam declared, this is now bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she came out of man. And that the two shall become one. And so the mother and the father together, that honor and that authority has been established in the home. Verse 3. Let's talk about atonement for sins. Let's talk about forgiveness of sins and how deep this thing runs. Whoso honored his father, making an atonement for his sins. See, a lot of our we would be absolved of and make atonement for a lot of our stuff, for a lot of our mistakes, for a lot of our missteps, for a lot of our iniquities, if we just possess the habit or acquire the habit of honoring our fathers. And he that honors his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Y'all, let's catch this, y'all. Let's catch this now. Honoring the father results in an atonement of sins. Honoring the mother will put us on the will, according to the word, put us on the path to prosperity. And we're not preaching the prosperity gospel. But when we talk about prosperity, we're talking about more than enough of what you need in any and every area of life. If you have more than what you need, you have prospered. Mental health issues, being able to avoid mental health issues, being in my right mind, that's prosperity. Having more than my necessary, having enough where my needs can be met and I can help provide some help and comfort to others, there's prosperity. And the Father says that he that honors his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Y'all know what laying up treasure means in the financial world. Laying up treasure is that you put some away and it begins to accrue interest, where you end up with more than you put in. Verse 5, whoso honors his father shall have the joy of his own children. Remember, these are eternal principles of wisdom. And this is what he's saying to us. He's saying, children, son, daughter, you can be hard-headed if you want to. You can be stiff-necked if you want to. You can roll your eyes and breathe hard, and you can be a pain in the behind if you want to. But you're going to reap what you have sown. If you give your parents hell, your children are going to give you hell. That's what he says. Whoso honors his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayer, y'all catch this deep now. He said that when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. Listen, I want to be in a position, or we want to be in a position, or we want to be a people that when we pray, the Father hears our prayers. He said, listen, you want your prayers to be heard? You want your prayers to be heard? Honor your parents. Verse 6, he that honors his father shall have a long life. And he that is obedient unto Yah shall be a comfort to his mother. Y'all know this doctrine, this Christian doctrine, or the lifestyle of Christians, sometimes, or the religious, I'll say religious spirit. Y'all know how you can catch you can recognize a religious spirit because with this religious spirit, they love Yah, but can't get along with nobody. They love Yah, but they got jacked up relationships. Love Yah, but don't ask them about the relationship with their parents. And Yah saying, listen, you got it twisted. He says, because if you're obeying me, if you're walking with me, you're going to be a comfort to your mother. He that feareth Yah, verse 7, he that feareth Yah will honor his father. If I cannot say I'm a God-fearing man or a God-fearing woman, and I dishonor my father. He said, it don't work like that. And we'll do service to his parents. Listen, I know. Listen. Those of us who are in the truth, we have a unique. We're in a very unique situation where many times those of us who are in the truth, because of the transformation or the change or the exodus out of whatever faith tradition we were born up in or we were raised up in, whether it was Christianity or whether it was Islam, or whether it was Hinduism. When we come into the truth, it strains it can be a strain on the relationship. It can be a strain on the relationship with our parents, because our parents brought us up a certain way, and our eyes have been open to the truth. And so now something as simple as Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, I'm gonna get a little deeper. Sunday, what are we doing on Sunday? What are we doing on Saturday? It strains the relationship that break from the tradition of men, break from Christianity or whatever. It can cause a strain on the relationship, but that is no excuse for us to ever get to the point where we dishonor our parents. Um, Father, verse 8, honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. And so Sirach is telling us, he's saying, listen, you you want to abide in the blessing of the Most High, honor your father and mother in word and deed. Bless your father in word and deed. Bless your mother in word and deed. And then some of us, even we're in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, or what have you, we've come to the point where both our fathers and our mothers have passed on. But for those of us who have living parents, listen, it is entirely, it is doable, and it is workable to be able to disagree with them as it relates to the truth, walking in the truth, as opposed to them walking in their faith tradition, whatever that may have been, yet still honor them. Still honor them, both in word and in deed. Number one, if I don't have anything positive to say, don't say anything at all. And find something positive. If it's nothing more than, and I know some of us have varying degrees of relationships with our parents, but if they did nothing else but got us here, that was enough. You can't, you 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and you mad at your parents for whatever. Listen, you here. Had it not been for them, you would not have been here. No matter how good or bad they were. He says, bless them in word and deed. Bless them with your mouth and bless them with your works, with your words and with your works. As much as you are able. Never shall forget when my parents were alive, go by the house, and whenever I went to mom's house or whenever I went to dad's house, as much as was possible, understanding these principles, when I went to their house, my time was no longer my time. It belonged to them. And so when I went to dad's house, or I went to mom's house, whatever they needed me to do, I was available. I made as much as was available, I was able to do. I made myself available for them to do. And you all know, for those of us that have healthy relationships with our parents, and I want to thank y'all for that I had a relatively healthy relationship with my parents. They don't want to be a burden. Sometimes it was almost like pulling teeth. Mom, you need anything? Dad, you need anything? And it'd be something like, son, I need you, mom, to take out the trash. That's all you need me to do. That's all you requested me to do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. And I'm not going to be answering back, even at advanced stage. Some of us, we get, we get a couple of letters behind our name or in front of our name, and we go home and act a fool. But the scriptures are telling us that we should honor our parents, both in word and in deed. Why? That a blessing may come upon them from them. Blessing may come upon thee from them. Our blessings are tied up in the tongue or in the words, or the blessing is something that was real. And something that not was, but is. The blessing of the parents is a real thing. That it was the father that laid his hand upon his children and prophesied and blessed his children. Y'all go back and read Genesis chapter 50. When Jacob blessed and prophesied over his children, laid his hands on them and spoke into their lives, spoke into their destiny. Along with the mother. Verse 9, for the blessing of the father, we got to catch this, for the blessing of the father establishes the houses of the children. Y'all know we have these housewarming. We have these people have the housewarming, and we would have and that's tradition. Again, out of the Christian tradition, we're going to do what? We call it the pastor to come bless our house, or a minister to come bless our house on the housewarming. When Sirach is showing us or revealing to us, we should have been calling dad and mom. Dad. This is what he says. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of the children. But the curse of the mother ruins our foundations. This is the blessing and the commendation that we should seek after, as according to the word of Yah, the blessing and the commendation from mom and dad, because that is what establishes the house. That is what establishes the home. That's what builds up the safe place. This is the power that our parents have. And I want to say this from the other end. Parents, as a parent of adult children right today and grandchildren, I want to share with you all, listen, bless your children. Let's please, let's do this, Israel. Let's begin to find something in their lives, the positive thing in their lives, and bless that, and speak into that, and encourage that, and edify that. Because it's easy to be negative. It's easy. It's easy to look at someone in their 20s and their 30s going into their 40s, our children, and look and see some negative or some things that are things in their lives or parts of their lifestyle that ain't right. But here's what we have to know. The power of life and death is in what? The tongue. And so whenever we come into contact with our children, especially even those who have lifestyle issues that we disagree with, who have made poor choices in life, when they come into your presence, and I practice this, I've had to practice this, and I practice this now. This is how I deal with my sons. I have two sons. if I have to address something, there are times we have to address some issues in their lives and decisions that they made. I tell them, listen, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about it one time. And the reason we talk about this is because I have to, love rejoices in the truth. And so we're going to talk about this, but this is going to be the last time we discuss this right here. I'm sharing this with you, to my sons, so you will know where I stand in regards to this particular issue. So the next time you see me, you'll know without me saying and without me repeating that this is, I got a problem with this particular situation that's going on in your life. You're making a mess over here. You're not straight over here. But we're going to talk about this one time so I can bear witness the truth. And the next time you see me, we're going to be talking about something else. But even with those negative issues, we want to be able to sow seeds of righteousness. We want to be able to sow seeds of encouragement. We want to be sowing seeds of edification into their lives, because our words, us speaking words in the lives of our children, establishes them, builds them up, strengthens them. In the opposite, our negative. I've had to work on this, y'all. My facial expression.
Fix your face.
Yah told me. This is what mom and daddy used to say, fix your face. But this is what Yah is telling me. That when I come into the presence of my children, fix my face. I'm gonna give you, this is not a testimony, but this is real stuff. We just had a family reunion a couple of weeks ago, y'all. And I know my children. I got one, he gonna buy the t-shirt. He gonna go, he gonna make sure his hair is straight. He gonna make sure everything is straight. He gonna pay his money. He gonna have his t-shirt. He gonna be dressed appropriately. I ain't even got to worry about it. But I got another one gonna come looking like who done it. And why? Just all unkempt and ain't gonna have, y'all, you pay your money, you get your t-shirts, and you come dressed like you got some, you come dressed like you got some sense. I got that one. I just knew it. I almost wanted to call him because he got two sons. Both of them have two sons. And I was really contemplating calling him and saying, son, listen, don't come up in here looking like no hillbilly. You got family coming all across the country. So this is not just some kind of outdoor at the park. No, this is a special occasion. So don't come, because you know your children. But I didn't do it. And so as a result, I got the expected end. And so the one came in, he was sharp. He had his kids had his sons had their t-shirts. And the other one, he came in, his sons, they just look like they just rolled out of bed. So I had to fix my face. Yah told me, fix your face. And that's what happens when we walk in wisdom. Yah will speak to us and tell us, listen, yeah, you could say something, but your negativity and your face all scrunched up, you're going to kill your relationship, your connection, and your fellowship with your adult children. And you need to be in their lives, because you are the one, not their pastor, not their bishop, not their apostle, not their woman. You are the one that speaks life into them. You are the one that smile. They need to see a smile, even when you just, it was hard for me to smile. It was hard for me to grin. It was hard for me to grab me. It was hard because I was hot. I was mad. We had people from East Coast, West Coast, from the Gulf Coast. We had folk from Chicago. We had family all, and he's the oldest, and I had to fix my face, y'all. Glory not in the dishonor, verse 10, glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father. Now we can deal with the negative part right now. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. So he said here, those of us that have you might have been a deadbeat dad, or might have been someone that parents may have gone through a divorce and you were separated from one or the other. He says, listen, don't glory in that. Don't harp on that. Don't let that be your testimony of your father. And I know what I'm talking about, because my parents were divorced. There was a lot that I saw and a lot that I heard that went on between my father and my mother, and things I saw, not so much my mother, things I saw with my father that that kind of wrecked me, you know. I couldn't glory in that. But what Yah allowed me to do was to use that situation or those situations as a cautionary tale. Forgive him, forgive her. But here's what you can get from that. If I didn't learn nothing else, I learned what not to do. Come on, somebody. Listen, y'all listen. We listen. If you didn't learn, sometimes Yah puts people in our lives to give us a cautionary tale. Don't do that. You see what he did? Don't hate him or hate her for that. Thank me that I gave you the presence of mind. I gave you the wisdom to look at that and say, I'm not doing that. Thank you for that lesson, Dad. Thank you for that lesson, Mom. I'm not going to do that. Because his father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. Verse 11, for the glory of the man is from the honor of his father, and the mother in dishonor is reproach to her children. He said those of us that had mothers that were dishonorable, lived dishonorable lives. Yes, it harmed us. It did. Yes, no doubt about it. We were harmed by the dishonor. We were harmed by the desertion. We were harmed by the disrespect. We were harmed by that disappointment. But he says, don't return dishonor for dishonor. Honor them. I love the way, real quick, those of you that are in the news, and you all know Simone Biles. She's the queen of gymnastics, and she's just on top of the gymnastics world and has been for the last almost 20 years. And she was her mother. Make a long story short, her mother, her birth mother, biological mother, was she was somewhat of a drug fiend, and she fell off into that life, and so her grandfather and her step grandmother raised her. And so after all of the hoopla of the Olympics, there's a story came out that Simone Biles' biological mother, all of a sudden, she wanted to get in contact with Simone Biles. And it's documented that Simone Biles and her sister and her brothers, they were neglected. They were for a period of time. They were in foster homes. They were in dangerous situations as children. And the mother all of a sudden comes out and she wants to establish contact with Simone Biles. And this is a kind of a textbook example of how we should handle situations the mother came out publicly. There were some news reports of her being interviewed and coming out, and she was saying that I'm not going to call her, but I want her to call me, and blah, 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 blah. And I believe Miss Simone Biles handled this so very well and with so much wisdom. You never heard a word from her, negative or positive, about that situation. And then sometimes you just have to, sometimes the situation was so bad and it's so messed up that sometimes you just have to the public should never know. Yes, she's my mother, and she is the mother of my sisters and myself, and maybe we thank God for that, but and leave it right there. Verse 12, my son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up. In the day of affliction, it shall be remembered. Thy sins shall also melt away as the ice in the fair, warm weather. He said, listen, when our mothers and our fathers become frail and become aged and deal with the ravages of whether it be Alzheimer's or whether it be dementia or whether it be decreased capacity to be able to get around and get up and down. He says, listen, you're in your strength of life. Do everything you can, physically, financially, emotionally, psychologically, everything in your power. Make sure you attend to their needs. Because this is going to affect your prayer life. This is going to affect your spiritual life. He says, you relieve your father, you relieve your mother, listen, some of us are in a situation where we're in a sandwich, they call it the sandwich culture, where some of us are taking care of children and the burden of taking care of our parents at the same time. And we've had to make some hard decisions. And I want to say this to those of you who have been in that situation and have been tempted to become caretakers for your parents. I want y'all to understand something. Listen, if this it's not possible, if you're in a situation where you like Yemi, you retired, his parents are gone, but I'm making fun of Yemi. You retired and you sitting over there and you got all the time in the world, and yeah, you need to be over there. But if you are working and you have family obligations, listen, make allowances or I'm trying to think of the word, making provisions for your parents. Don't feel guilty if you can't, because you're not able to be a 24-hour caretaker for your parents. But you want to do everything you can to make arrangements or allowances for your parents to be taken care of. Because I'm going to give you this little nugget of wisdom, and then we can move on. Listen, those of us that have godly parents who are wise and walk in wisdom, they don't want you to, let me give you a little secret. They don't want you to be their caretaker. Let me get a little, since we in these streets, let me get a little. They don't want you to be the one bathing them and wiping their behind and all that stuff. They don't want you to be the care. They want you to be a son or a daughter. They never want you to become their nurse. Because I know this, and I know I can speak for you. The worst thing that could ever happen to us is that we become a burden to our children. Anybody in their right mind, anybody who walks with Yah, we want to live long and be strong and in our advanced years to be able to attend to our own affairs and be able to take care of ourselves and have a quality of life and not have our children have to become my caretaker or my nurse. No, get me a caretaker, get me a nurse, find me a place where I can be taken care of. You come and watch Wheel of Fortune with me. You come and watch Jeopardy with me. You come and celebrate my birthday and watch me blow out birthday candles. That's what you do.
Come watch Bonanza.
Come watch Bonanza. Come watch Rifleman. Come watch the Beverly Hillbillies. Hold my hand. Let's pray together. Let's laugh. Let's talk about some stuff. You know, you can laugh at me and I laugh at you. We talk about each other. We play spades and bid whist or whatever. And you go on your way. But I want you to be my son and my daughter. I don't want you to be my nurse. But he says, we do this, relieving our father, relieving our mother, attending the needs of them. He says, listen, y'all not going to forget it. Y'all will not forget. So you take care of your business as it relates to your parents. I'm going to build you up. In the day of your affliction, I'm going to remember. And your sins are going to melt away like ice in fair and warm weather. Verse 16, he that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer. Did y'all catch that? And he that angereth his mother is cursed of Yah. Listen, Yah said, I set this thing up to where your parents are above you. They're under me. They're above you. And if you forsake your father, you do your father dirty, you may as well have cursed me. Because I'm the one that set him over you. I'm the one that set her over you. Don't forsake them. You may have to feed them. You may have to love them long distance. But don't forsake them. I know some of us got some messed up relationships. Some of us have some parents that, boy, I'll tell you, they just, sometimes, growing old, they can get hateful and they can get resentful. And I know some of us have parents who are jealous of us. Yes, we run into situations like that. You have parents because you're doing well and you're doing better than they've ever done, and your family is intact, and or you are able to handle your affairs with some dignity and be able to handle your situation, and you driving a certain thing and you living in a certain area and they couldn't live. They had to grow up under segregation. They had to live under a certain standard. And now here you are. You're doing well, living out there in Forney with them white folk and all this kind of stuff. You got, and some of them can't handle it. And some of them can get mean, and they can get nasty, and they get resentful, and they be covetous and jealous of their own children. But we still have to honor them. No, not obey them, but we must honor them. Verse 17, my son, go on with thy business. He says, handle your business in meekness. So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. He said, listen, whatever business you're in, whatever business you undertake, whatever your place of employment or your position within that company, or whether it be high or low, he says, wherever you go in handling your business in these streets, do it with meekness. And this is what I mean by meekness. This is what the scripture means by meekness. Strength under control. You're very competent in what you do. You're very good at what you do. And you are, in many instances, those of us that do well in our jobs, especially those in Israel, this has always been the case. You're smarter than your boss. Smarter than the one that's over him. And he'll come up to you, or she'll come up to you, and they want to say, well, they want to come up with all these old suggestions and all these theories that they didn't put up on a computer or some seminar or some some conference they went to. They want to make certain decisions on protocols and procedures, and you know when it drip out their mouth, you know that ain't gonna work. You already know. But the Father says to the rock, look, handle your business in meekness. And those that are over you, do what they say do, and you know it's gonna blow up. But here's what you do: you do it, you let it blow up, and then you fix it, and never say a word. That's meekness. And no one. And here's the thing: listen, Yah gives us the wisdom where we can work to where we can watch it blow up and fix it, and no one ever knows except me and my supervisor about what happened. I don't have to go to the co-worker and say, oh, you know, so and so and so and so, he said this, and then all of this. You ain't no meekness. Keep meekness. Hush your mouth and do your thing. And watch Yah give you favor with them fools in these streets. Verse 18, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. The greater you are, the more humble yourself, and you shall find favor before Yah. He says, the higher you rise, the greater you are, the more humble you shall be. You must become. You must. You can't be walking around like you somebody. No, he says, humble yourself. Because those that humble themselves shall be exalted, and those that exalt themselves shall be humbled. How to get favor with Yah? Humble yourself. Verse 19, many are in a high place and are renowned, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. I can't help, as I read this, I can't help but think of Joseph and Daniel, our ancestors. They had been gifted with the ability to be able to interpret dreams, and they knew mysteries, they knew secrets of the pharaohs and the kings and the uppity ups and the muckety mucks were in charge. But these men and many more on the they had an ability to interpret and understand the secret things. And this is what Yah would do for us if we would be meek and humble ourselves out there in the job, in our entrepreneurial exploits of what we do, be able to have a wisdom and have an understanding of the secret things, to be able to operate in excellence and amaze those who are around us. Because the secrets are revealed to the meek. The secrets are revealed to those saints who know how to keep their mouths shut and operate in excellence and be humble and meek before Yah. He is the one who gives you the secrets and how to make that thing go. Verse 21, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. He said, listen, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Whatever lane you find yourself in right now, Yah saying, listen, don't get ambitious on me. This is what Yah saying to us. Don't get ambitious on me. Stay in your lane, and your gift will make room for you. Not your lips. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. I just said something out of the scriptures. He said your gift will make room for you. Your ability will make room for you. Your wisdom will make room for you. Your expertise will make room for you. Your availability will make room for you. We don't have to step on anybody to get to the next level. Verse 22, what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Playing politics in the office, trying to find out who's who and what's what and what they doing and what they said in the boardroom. He said, listen, no, let that alone. I mean, you need to learn how to communicate. You need to learn how to, we can learn the skills, the communication skills. We need to learn how to how to relate to people, and how to be open and be honest. But at the same time, we don't need to play these little power games, get on these power trips. He says, but what I've given you to do, think upon that with reverence. And here's what that means, y'all. He said, listen, when you are doing your job, when you're about your business, your prayer, or my prayer, should be, Father, how can I become more effective and efficient in what you have given me to do? I want to be the most efficient. I want to be the most effective. I want to be the most impactful, no matter what it is, no matter what the task is, no matter what the responsibility is. Father, I want to be effective. I want to be impactful. I want to be efficient. I want to be great for you. And I'm not worried, and I'm not going to worry about the meeting they had last week. I'm not going to worry about the memo that went around and didn't get to me. I missed the memo, and I missed it on purpose. I'm not worried about that. Because I know you're in the secret place. And I know you hear all and you know all. And I know that you, as long as I stay humble and I stay meek and I operate in efficiency and I operate effectively and I am impactful and I know how to put out the fire. I know how to fix the mess. I know how to get it done.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. We're in the book of Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3.
We're at verse 23 right now.
Verse 23.
Sirach chapter 3, verse 23. He says, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. He's saying, okay, stop being nosy. What did they say? What did they say in that meeting? What were they talking about? Quit being nosy. Listen, I'm nosy. So this brick is on my toe. But he's saying, listen, when you're out there in them streets and you're at work and you're doing your job, or listen, quit being nosy. Quit trying to understand. Quit trying to know everything. Some of that stuff, you don't need to know that. Matter of fact, listen, if I'm caught up in the office gossip, or what they call it, the water cooler conversations, see, a lot of that stuff is a trick and a trap. The gossip, the complaining, the water cooler conversations, a lot of that stuff is a trick and a trap. Y'all please listen to me. But beyond the tricks and the traps, those of us who are honest, those of us who are earnest, those of us who mind our own business, those of us who are in our own lane, those of us who handle our business, those of us that can put out the fire, those of us that can solve the problem, those of us that operate in meekness and humility. He said, listen, he said, I'm going to reveal to you more than most men understand. Quit going to the water cooler, having them clandestine conversations in them itty-bitty committees. Quit being nosy and asking folk who, what, why, and what for. Listen, talk to me. Ask me about it. And I help you to see and understand more than they're not telling you the truth anyway. They're giving you half lies, innuendos, and opinions. Verse 24, for many are deceived. I'll catch this. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Listen, this is what y'all is trying to tell us. Listen, your opinion, number one, everybody got one. And it's possible for everyone that has an opinion, it's quite possible that everyone who has an opinion on a specific subject is wrong. And many of us have been deceived by our own vain opinion. What we think, what I think. Jeremiah tried to tell us that our hearts are deceitful and desperately wicked. So if I'm looking at, I don't know the whole story. I don't know the individuals involved, and yet I've got an opinion, and I'm going to blab. I'm going to open up my mouth. I'm going to put my mouth on somebody based upon my own opinion. Most High says you've been deceived by your own evil suspicion. I knew they was up to something. Who does he think he is? I just knew that they was up to no good. You've been deceived by your own suspicion. I knew they was against me. No, you paranoid. Ain't nobody got time to be thinking about you. And anybody that has time to be thinking about you don't have nothing going on in their own lives. They got too much time on their hands. So if they're talking about you, they behind your back for a reason. Come on, somebody. They talking about me behind my back. That's right. That's what they are. Behind me, behind my back, beneath me. Because Yah is the one that is lifting me up as I humble myself. I don't want to be deceived by my own vain opinion. And I don't want my evil suspicion to overthrow my judgment. My discernment, not my judgment not when we're talking about judgment, we're not talking about making a decision or proclaiming guilt or innocence. When we talk about judgment, we're talking about discernment. Okay? Without eyes, verse 25, without eyes thou shalt want light. The stuff you can't see, the light of understanding is lacking. Profess not the knowledge, therefore thou hast not. If you ever run into someone that has all the answers, or if you ever meet somebody that know everything about everything, run. Run from the prophet, run from the bishop, run from the apostle, run from the individual that know everything. Run from that person.
As fast as possible.
As fast as you can. They got the answer to everything, and you never heard them say, I don't know. Let me check on that. I don't know. Let me research that. I don't know what that means. Let me get back with you. If you've never heard them say that, distance yourself from them people. Verse 26, a stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last. Listen, those of us who are stubborn, those of us who are, let me go ahead and finish that verse. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. I'm going to go ahead and finish. I'm going to go ahead and finish this verse 27. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. So then those of us who are stubborn, hard-headed, won't listen to nobody. Our way is the best way. As our way the highway. Sirach is telling us you may get along, that may work for you in the early stages. But your end, your latter days are going to be hell. And he that loveth danger shall perish therein.
You might want to say that again. That one right there.
He that loveth danger shall perish therein. Is that the part you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Listen, those of us, I'm going to say those of us, so I can put myself in there. Y'all know some of us love to sneak and creep. The more danger that's in it, the more mystery that's in it, we run to that. We want to sneak and we want to creep and we want to slip and slide and we want to do all that. And we just love what they call it. We love the danger. We love the thrill. We love the intrigue. We love all that. Y'all know what I'm talking about in these relationships we get in. We just like that. We just like to just do all that. You're gonna perish. Those of us who try to be too slick for our own good, and we sneaking and we creeping and we the thrill, we just in it for the thrill, you're gonna perish. Your latter end, you're gonna perish. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows. Those of us who are proud, those of us who are stubborn, those of us, I ain't gonna never forgive. I'm not gonna never forgive you for what you did to me. Those of us who say, listen, you got one time with me and you mess up that one time, we done. That obstinate heart, those of us who can't apologize when we're wrong. I said this before, y'all, our family relationship. Some of us, mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers and uncles and aunties, and we done got, our head done blew up because, listen, I'm so-and-so. I can say what I want to say. Listen, I'm the elder. Listen, go ahead. Keep on. Keep on. We've got to, a lot of us, and I've had to do this. Some of us have to go to our children and our grandchildren and our nieces and our nephews, because some of us made promises we didn't keep. Some of us missed out on some assignments. Some of us went AWOL. Some of us let these people down, and we just because you got uncle or auntie or mama or daddy or papa or mama in front of your name, he said an obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrow. As much as is within me, as I get into this advanced age, getting close to 60, I want a great relationship with my children. I want a great relationship with my grandchildren. I want to have a great relationship, a camaraderie with my brothers and my sisters and my nieces and my nephews. I want to be able to go into their presence and be able to laugh, be able to sit down and break bread, be able to enjoy one another's company. Be able to be relatable, be able to be a sounding board, and being able to listen without judgment. That's a hard one. We sitting there. I was sitting with my granddaughter a couple of weeks ago, and she was just. We went out on a date, right? And she's 16, so we go out on a date, and I'm eating, and she talking my ear off. And she telling me a whole bunch of stuff. She just talking. And some of the stuff she was saying, I wasn't in agreement with what she was saying, and I couldn't, but these children that's growing up in this modern age, they live in front of the screen. All their stuff is out in the open. And so they really don't have any residence. A lot of them that come up on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all this social media, they don't have no trouble telling you about they cheated on a test or they did this or they did that. They don't have no trouble telling you. They grew up in front of it. They grew up, all their mind, all their thoughts just out there. But in order for the communication, in order for the relationship, in order for the connection, in order for the impact to remain, some of that stuff you just gotta let it slide. Now they can't be disrespectful until you don't want to buy that. They don't be disrespectful and disobedient and dishonorable. You don't want to buy that. But the things, some of the stuff you can't have an obstinate heart about it. Because you're gonna be laden with sorrows. You're gonna be laying up somewhere, and you're gonna be laying up somewhere in some flea-bitten, flea-infested old folks' home, and ain't nobody coming to see you. Ain't nobody gonna want to talk to you. Ain't nobody want to come visit you. Ain't nobody want to be in your presence.
Let me add something to that. You have to understand too, when you're dealing with relationships with your sibling, I mean with your seed, grandkids, kids, you have to look at them as if how the Father looks at you.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
And this is exactly what they're saying in this verse. You have to be able to perceive them the same way the Father perceives you. Mm-hmm. Because when you come to him jacked up. You understand? We got this bad habit of forgetting how we got to get on our knees before y'all and ask him for forgiveness for some stuff. And then when our kids or our grandkids say something out of the way or say something crazy, we want to judge. You can't judge them.
Can't.
Because if you rewind the story of your life and you think about all the times you done had to get down on your knees and ask y'all, forgive me, I done did this wrong, I done did that wrong, mm-hmm. I done talked too quick, I done said too much, I done betrayed my parents. Mm-hmm. They can't look at me the same, nobody can hear me because I done acted a complete and total donkey. Mm-hmm. And then when we look at our kids, we got to be able to say, that was me.
Yeah.
And I have sinned.
Yeah.
And I still carry sin. So how can I ask y'all to forgive me for the things that I've done, but not be forgiving to those who are underneath me?
Yeah.
Because when it all comes down to it, we all short. Mm-hmm. This whole let me jump in here because I hate to do this.
Go ahead, come on. Because you own it. Go ahead, you own it.
Exodus 20. When we look at Exodus 20 and we look at the commandments and we go down to honor thy mother and thy father, for thy days shall be longer on this earth. This is exactly what this chapter is breaking that whole commandment down. So you don't have no way of missing it. Because you can miss it. How do I honor my mother and father? You know, and then he tells them, parents, don't provoke your kids to anger. Mm-hmm. So we learn how to not only honor our parents, but we also learn how to maneuver around our children. And this is why when y'all see me running around here depressed and upset and wondering what was going on with me, this was it. Was I doing it? Did I do enough? Did I let them go? Was I a good son? Let me just put it out there. Was I a good son? Was I good enough? Mm-hmm. Was I obedient enough? Yeah, I used to pay $80 every 2 weeks to get their grass cut. And yeah, I used to, when something would break down in the house, I'd put it on my Navy Federal credit card till I maxed it. Yeah, I did all those things. But when it was said and done in the last, was I a good son? And I condemned myself before y'all could. Y'all, I want y'all to hear me. The reason why Yemi is in this position that Yemi's in and has been in this funk for the last 4 or 5 years since y'all been growing with me, I've been asking myself, did I do enough as a son? Now, one thing that y'all showed me in this lesson today was that if you have done what you were supposed to do, blessing's going to follow you. Yes. Well, I've been blessed.
Yes. Let me throw this in real quick, Yemi, because of that question that you have. And this is what Sirach is showing us in this chapter. He said, listen, Yemi, you don't have to go upstairs to the Father. He said, the father, your daddy, James, named James, right?
Yep.
What's your mother's name?
Isla.
Yeah.
I-L-L-A.
So the father put it like this. The father put it like this. He set up like this. What does James say? What would James say?
See, I can't depend on that because James will say anything.
Oh, well, yeah, but James is he in another plane right now, so he's gonna the glorified version. He was a good son.
Yeah, and it took me a while to see that.
Yeah, because here's the testimony. That's what Sirach was telling us, that the blessing of the Father establishes the home. This is what he's saying. So listen, some of us that got so holy, we want to go straight to the Father. But the Father said, whoa, wait.
Go to your own daddy.
What would your father say? What would your mother say? Because if your father have a bad report on you, and your mother is angry, upset, or curse you for not for the righteous things that you did, but but for for the ignorant stuff you did, and that's their testimony of you before the Father, you in bad shape.
Yeah. And it took a while for me to understand that when you are dealing with family,
yeah,
and as you grow in age, you never stay where you're at, y'all. You got to understand that. Right. And so as you grow as an adult, so are your children. Mm-hmm. They're going through different stages in life.
Yes.
And you ain't too far from that stage.
Right.
I can't count the number of clubs I used to go to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let me put it on out there.
Yeah.
I started partying Wednesday. You see what I'm saying? And we can't forget all the drinking, cussing, smoking, fornicating, adulterous behaviors, and all the stuff that we've done in our lifetime. Mm-hmm. You can't be so holy that when you so holy that when you look back, you don't see no crap behind you.
Yeah.
Something wrong. Sometimes I feel like I'm still sitting in the pile of it. I wrestle with y'all as y'all's leader, as your moray. I come to you sincerely every week, and I tell y'all that I battle with sin. Mm-hmm. Because it is a fact.
Yeah.
I don't tell y'all that because I want to sound like I'm closer to you. I am you. I ain't no better than nobody in this family. And when I look at y'all, and sometimes, and I've learned, because I remember when we first started this, I told Joseph, and I told Malak, I said, listen, I don't want to deal with no people. That's y'all's job. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to deal with them. All I want to do is get up and teach on the Shabbat, and that's it.
Yeah.
And y'all tore it apart. I want y'all to listen to me, because Joseph don't know what I'm talking about right now, because he's looking at me like we still going. No, this is a whole different animal.
Yeah, it is.
Since we started to now, this is a whole different good ship lollipop.
Yeah.
He tore it apart, y'all, until I realized that as a leader, as a father of a congregation, that I have to deal with y'all like he deals with me. Mm-hmm. But the good part about it is I can't throw no stones and I can't cast no judgments.
Right.
All I can do is love on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned in my time, I have our culture is to subjugate the women. And I've found out in my years of walking with y'all that the women been more holier than the men.
Mm-hmm.
The women been more righteous than the men. The men been hiding behind crap, and we have to sit up there and nurture them and try to make them feel better instead of just popping them across their jaw and telling them to get their S together and move on like men and quit being boys.
Yeah.
Y'all, I didn't want to take over. That's not what I do. But I want to tell y'all, when you read chapter 3, you need to also have a book open in the Exodus, chapter 20.
And Ephesians chapter 6, which is a restatement, which is New Testament restatement of what he spoke of. He ain't changed.
That's a fact.
The Christian would tell us, well, the law is done away with, but they don't know they don't understand what they're saying.
Boy, I sound like Yosemite Sam. That's a damn statement. When you say that the law is done away with, I want y'all to understand something. When you say that the law is done away with, you are saying I can sleep with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I can sleep with my mama.
Mm-hmm.
I can sleep with my children.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all, I got to put it in this perspective because I want you to see I got to go bad. I got to go real bad and I got to go real ugly. I can sleep with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if my granddaddy remarried, which mine did, I can sleep with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
See, what you're saying is not I can eat pork. Not that I can sin and do all those things. No, what you're saying is the fabric that holds everything together is a lie.
Yeah.
The law holds the world together.
Yes.
Now I'm going to preach. Look, do you understand that the word of Yah is the law, and the law holds the fabric of time and space together?
Yeah.
So without law, the sun don't come up. Well, without law, the sun don't set. Without law, the fish don't breathe water. Without law, the streams don't run downhill. Without law, grass don't grow. Without law, seed don't form. Without law, life ain't given.
Mm-mm.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
Verse 28. Thank you, Yemi. In the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy. Listen, we can be proud, we can be obstinate, but when that shoe falls, when judgment comes, when the punishment hits, there's no remedy for that. Why? Because the plant of wickedness has taken root in him. And y'all know when something is root bound, something is root bound, especially with a tree, you can have pipes that are root bound. You can have whole yard. A yard, if a yard gets root bound, it can't even grow grass. And for those of us who are proud and obstinate and stubborn, we're root bound. Our lives are root bound, and everything that should be the family unit, the relationships and the covenants between the families and the fellowship between the families, that root of wickedness has come and just choked us off from one another. Verse 29, the heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. He said, listen, if you're going to be a wise man or a wise woman, here's what you got to learn how to do. You got to learn how to listen. Learn how to listen to people. Because it's in listening that we learn. Because if you let somebody talk long enough, they're going to tell you exactly who they are. They're going to tell you exactly what they're about. They're going to tell you what's important to them. They're going to reveal to you what does not matter to them. They're going to reveal to you what they like. They're going to reveal to you what they despise. They're going to reveal to you what they're afraid of. They're going to reveal to you what their weaknesses are. If we learn to listen, that's a person with a prudent and a wise heart and an attentive ear will understand a parable, will understand, be able to get down to the brass tacks of a matter. Verse 30, water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh atonement for sin. He that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter, and when he falleth, he shall find a stay. This is the final as we wrap this up. Listen, alms are good deeds. We don't do alms or good deeds to obtain salvation. Salvation is a gift from Yah through the death, the shed blood of Hamashiach. We have been redeemed. We have been made alive. But the alms, the good deeds that we do, he said, listen, those alms make an atonement for sin. And listen what the Father is saying to us. There's a lot of things that you've done. He's talking to me. There's a lot of things that you've done. I could have got you for that. I should have got that for you. I should have got you for that. But because you went to see about somebody, or you visited somebody in their affliction, or you gave to somebody that asked you, or you did some, I'm not gonna let it slide, but I'm not gonna put the hammer on you for that. Because his alms make an atonement for sin. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. What he's saying is that those of us who do good to those who are good to us, and those of us who pray for and encourage and strengthen the hands of those especially that do good to us, and even to those who do us dirty, we don't make, two wrongs don't make a right. He that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter. Drop that thirst and drop that. Listen, we got to drop this. I'm going to make him pay for what he did to me. I'm going to get revenge for what they did to me. They did me dirty. I'm going to do them dirty. They said this about me. I'm going to say that about them. He says, no, because you want to be mindful of what comes after that. It says, when he falleth, he shall find a stay. Listen, there are times when we slip. I don't know about y'all. There are times when I have slipped and I have fallen. But the Father, in his grace and his mercy, didn't let the fall or the slip be as bad as it could have been. And then even other times, there were times I slipped and I fell, and he stopped me from busting my behind or busting my skull on the pavement. I'm talking about moral slips. I'm talking about all kind of slips. I'm talking about actual slips. Listen, those of us who do good turns, those of us who help others, those of us who meet the needs of others and make it a habit in our lives of doing those alms and those good works. They ain't getting you to heaven, but they're going to help you in life. Cushion your fall. Cushion you when you slip. And in chapter 3, this is what we find. We're finding safety. We find safety at home. We find safety in these streets. We find safety on the job. We find safety in our entrepreneurial exploits. We find safety wherever we go. We operate according to the principles and precepts that we see here in chapter 3. And that's what we need. We need to be safe, because when I'm safe, I can live. And as long as I'm alive, I can thrive. But we've got to operate in that safe place of obedience, honor, humility, and meekness as we walk along this path that the Father has given us to walk. Y'all bless you. Yemi, I'm done.
Well, hallelujah. Y'all, if y'all ain't got a mouthful today, y'all got an earful, I know. I want y'all to reflect on everything. Go back and reread this chapter all week. Suck it up. Because this is going to give you some insight on relationships, not only with your family, not only with your parents, your children, but with spouses, ex-spouses, all that mess. Look, y'all, the reason why I never put my mouth on my ex-wives, for one, I was with them, so that for one, I was with them, so I mean, you ain't see what was wrong with them a mile ago. But I don't talk bad about them because they the mothers of my children. And then for some time they did breathe life into me. It may not have worked out the way I wanted it to, but it worked out the way y'all planned it to. Because sometimes we marry people that we want to marry, not who y'all sent us. So what I want to tell y'all, be in prayer for your families. Be in prayer for the people that are in your lives. Be in prayer for me and for Joseph. Be in big prayer for me. Woo. Y'all's working some things out in me, man, emotionally and physically and spiritually. I mean, I done lost all this weight, but it all comes at a cost. Friday morning at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, I'll be going under the knife. I need y'all to be praying. Because I got some things in here in me that could have led to destruction. And I'm praying that y'all don't collect on Friday. I'm praying that y'all don't cash in. All right, Negro, it's your time. Let's go. I need some more time. I've been beating my head against the rock, against the wall like Hezekiah. I'll be at Presbyterian Dallas. I know I'll be there all day Friday and probably all day Saturday. If you want to come up and holler at your boy, go ahead. Please come up. I need y'all. I was shocked. My youngest daughter, who we got a love-hate relationship. I love to hate her, and she loved to hate me. That joker called me yesterday and said, "I don't know who coming, but I'll be there." Almost shocked me out of my damn skin. I was like, "Ooh, you come to see me?" So, yeah, keep me lifted up, y'all. Hopefully, in a few weeks, few months after the surgery's done, I'll have a clear understanding on if this is cancer or not. If it's cancer, y'all, and he take that whole thing out, I'll probably just have to get a little radiation. I mean, some chemo, and I'll be all right if it hasn't metastasized. But if it's nothing, we gonna party Sukkot. Boy, let me find out it ain't nothing, and we all at Sukkot together. I'm telling y'all gonna see my act. I'm gonna show out. Why is Jimmy in that water just swimming? Because Jimmy is happy as hell to be alive. Y'all don't understand. And I want everybody who can. If you can only come for 3 days, if you can only come for 2 days, just come. I'm trying to stay the whole week. So yeah, whole 7 days. Joseph's gonna let me know what's the name of the state park.
Purtis, Purtis.
So we're gonna be at Purchase State Park again. I'm gonna be there, ready to go. And I gotta try to rent this RV now that I know the name of the spot. So we love y'all. Keep us in your prayers. We'll be praying for you. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, family.